Spain is one of the world's biggest tourist destinations, blessed with countless iconic buildings and distinguishable landmarks designed by some of the world's most prestigious architects. However, some of these buildings would have been better left on the architect's drawing board because they are so annoying and ugly. So here my top 6 iconic but ugly Spanish buildings. The Gate of Europe, also known as KIO Towers, undoubtedly one of the ugliest images of Madrid. Rising to 114 meters at an incline of 15 degrees, these towers stretch 30 meters from their base. This leaning makes every floor different from the others. Well, the KIO towers sum up everything that architecture should never do. The two symmetrical leaning towers go against nature, making the structure unnecessarily expensive. They are breaking the view and the surroundings in a very brutal way. On top of that, over time they've become small and ridiculous compared to the real Madrid towers, which are taller, more logical, and more attractive. Declared a World Heritage by UNESCO in 2005, the Casa Batlló is the architectural jewel of Antoni Gaudí. Honestly, I'm not impressed with Gaudí's architecture. He loves details and created crowded designs with using complex forms abstracted from nature. I have to admit that the architecture of the Casa Batlló is brave and original. However, the contrast between other buildings is so big. The facade's design broke all the bylaws of the city. In my standpoint of view, there is no wow about this design. It makes me feel so dizzy with all its waved walls and mosaics. I bet Gaudí could have a great career with Disney if he still's alive. Guggenheim Museum Bilbao definitely put Basque Country of Spain on the international art map, bringing tourists from everywhere to see the building. But if I should pick one word to describe this building, I would say, a chaos. The truth is that there is no way to take it. It's uninviting and out of context with the surrounding area. On top of that, why these waves metal masses suddenly become the Gary's brand? The Walt Disney Concert Hall was original and stole our attentions, but recycling the same brand again and again is a mistake. I think Gary likes to put so much effort to impress, and the only impression comes to my mind is what a mess. Metropole Parasol, located in Seville, the capital of southern Spain's Andalusia. This wooden structure is iconic and unique indeed. However, I can't understand why on earth would anybody plan such a terrible gigantic piece of architecture or engineering structure or whatever is in the middle of such a fabulous and historic city. It has a bland appearance and looks like an autistic work that does not identify with its surroundings. Such a disaster. Hotel Marqués de Riscal. This 5-star hotel was designed by Frank Gehry. According to him, the building's exterior reflects the colors of wine. Well, the architecture of Gehry follows a sculptural style, but I feel like his style degrades the function of architecture to mere spectacle. His designs make architecture as something that is linked to fashion and glamour. That hotel, it looks like a sculpture attached rather than architecture. It doesn't blend into its natural surrounding. Just look to these windows, so anarchy. It turns out I don't do Gaudí in any way. Sagrada Familia Cathedral will eventually become the world's tallest when it is finally finished in 2026. It will also be the strangest looking and possibly the most controversial place of worship ever built. The cathedral looks beautiful from a distance, but when you get closer it looks a mess. It's like a sand castle. Every inch of it has a very specific design, statue, or carving. My brain can't stand many details in just one building. Gaudí began work on the Sagrada Familia in 1883 and it remains unfinished to this day. Many people wonder if this is Gaudí's real vision because the building is becoming more extravagant, terrifying, ugly and monstrosity. I really feel like both the cathedral and Gaudí are so overrated. The building is very busy and seems like Gaudí just put things everywhere. Who builds a church and tops it off with fruit? It even has a donkey hoisted up the facade. I find the whole place so offensive with no redeeming qualities for a church at all, and don't say it's art. A church to be a freak sideshow is really horrible.